Hey guys, Silenced here, and welcome to another money making guide where I'll be showing you guys 5 great creatures to kill for money. These are going to be 5 high level creatures, so this guide is going to be leaning more towards the high level players. Before I start the video, if you guys do enjoy, hit that like button and consider subscribing for more RuneScape 3 content. Also, if you guys want to join my Discord server or my friends chat, we do lots of boss masses and just chat around, so if you guys want to join that, the invite link will be in the description down below, and my friends chat is SilencedYT. Anyway, let's get on with the video. So starting off with the first method, we have killing Eruts, and the requirements and recommendations for Eruts include 92 Slayer, 95 Prayer, 96 Herblore for overloads, and 90 plus melee stats. And the recommended equipment for melee would be tier 80 plus armor with a tier 80 plus weapon, and dual wield weapons tend to be better than two-hand weapons against Eruts. A few other really useful items include the Amulet of Souls, as it will help you with soul split. Also a Slayer helmet and Ferocious ring are recommended if you are on task, and you should do this in the Ancient Cavern in Curadel's dungeon. As for useful auras, you can use the Penance aura or the Vampirism aura. Also a Scrimshaw of Attack or Scrimshaw of Vampirism would be useful as well, although these items are not necessary. And Eruts are located either south of the Memorial of Guthix or in Curadel's dungeon, which can only be done on task. And Eruts can be tough to kill if you do not deal enough DPS, since they increase their defense over time, so it is important to bring the best weapon you can, as well as stat boosting potions such as overloads. Some other items that you should bring include the Enhanced Excalibur, Spring Cleaner, and a lot of Prayer or Super Restore potions, as you will need your Soul Split active for most of the times just so you can heal your life points. And if you bring the Penance aura, this will reduce the amount of prayer potions that you will need, so that really would help. And also, if you are using melee, then it is recommended to attack the Eruts that are on all fours, since the ones standing on their hind legs have more defense against melee. Eruts also have one really dangerous special ability, and this is when they stand up and pound their chest. You can easily counter this ability by using the ability Flurry, and this will stun the Erut and just make it so they don't actually use their attack, which will deal massive damage if you do not counter it. This is why dual wield tends to be better than two-hand weapons. Another useful way to kind of counter this attack would be to use Deflect Melee and Devotion. However, the Flurry attack does work really well, so I do recommend doing that. And on screen now is a perfect example of when I used Flurry just to counter their attack. So as you can see, they jump up in the air, pound their chest. I click Flurry, and then I just stun them, and they are unable to use their special attack. You can also bring a Dwarf Multi-Cannon for Eruts as well. This would make this method a lot more AFK, and you should get more kills per hour. So that is definitely an option. It does cost a lot more. If you are doing it just the way I showed you, then you should expect around 3 mil per hour. And using a Dwarf Multi-Cannon probably wouldn't be too much different. You would get more XP per hour, so if you do have a Dwarf Multi-Cannon and are ready to use one, then this would be a good option to actually pull that out and use it. And so Eruts will drop a lot of noted items and alchebal items, so you should bring Nature and Fire runes to alch the rune salvage if you don't bring a Spring Cleaner. And also the Razorback Gauntlets are only dropped while on task, even though they have dropped quite a bit, so they aren't really worth that much anymore. But overall, you should expect around 3 mil per hour at Eruts. Personally, I like bringing a Pack Yak and using the Winter Storage Scrolls just to bank the bones, as that is where most of the money will be coming from. And the next combat moneymaker is Queen Black Dragon, and QBD is one of the easier bosses to kill. Here is the requirements and recommendations. So Song of the Depths quest must be completed, and this is so you will deal more damage against QBD. Also, 60 summoning is required for a shortcut, 96 for the Pack Yak, which is the preferred beast of burden. And then also 85 Herblore is really important for the super anti-fires. Ritual of the Majoret, that's for the Dragonbane ammo. This is really useful, although it's okay if you do not have this. And then 80 plus range of defense, 95 prayer for curses, and the 50 agility for that shortcut. Now, you can kill QBD with worse gear and worse stats than this. When I first started killing QBD, I had full armadillo, so that's tier 75, and I was probably around 90 range, so you definitely don't need to be maxed to kill this boss, and you can make around 3 to 4 mil per hour. I'm not really going to go into the specific mechanics. I have recently made a Queen Black Dragon guide, so I will be linking that in the description. So if you guys don't know how to kill Queen Black Dragon, you should definitely check out that guide. Moving on to our next method, we have killing Nihils. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. I will be linking a Nihil guide in the description down below. But for the requirements and recommendations, you do need the Fate of the Gods quest completed, 76 Slayer, and 87 Summoning, and these are the most important requirements. And then on the other side are the recommendations. So you should have 90 plus range and defense, 81 Divination, 95 prayer, and 96 Herblore. Now you can probably get away with the Divination, prayer, and Herblore, but it is nice to have a high range level and a high defense level, as they do hit pretty hard. The prayer level is simply for the curses, and then the Herblore level is for overloads. If you don't have overloads, bring some super restores as well as some stat boosting potions. So Nihils are located in the World Gate in the pit. So for this method, it is really important to bring the Shard of Zeros, and this is so the Muspahs aren't aggressive to you. So you will want to focus on killing the Smoke Nihils, and this is because they are the easiest to kill. They have the weakest ability. Their ability will just drain your stats, which can easily be counteracted with an overload. And also, some of the abilities that you should use, the one important one is Corruption Shot, and this should be in the first slot, so it will damage the other Nihils around you, so when they are weak, you can also kill them pretty quickly without them getting their ability off. And again, I will be going into further detail in the full Nihil guide that I will be linking in the description. But just for this, you will want to actually pick up the special ingredients. So for the Smoke Nihils, they do drop the Avalanche Talons. So this is the most important ingredient that you will need. You will also want all of the Elder Charms and the Elder Energy. And at the end, you will want to be making the Nihil pouches. That is where you will be making most of the money from killing Nihils. So in my inventory here are some Demon Horns, which are used to make the Shadow Nihil pouches. You will need 150 Elder Energy, the one summoning ingredient, so Shadow Horns in this case, and one Elder Charm to make the pouch. And currently these pouches are worth a little bit over 100k right now, so they are definitely really profitable. You should definitely get on this method right now because it is pretty high. They're usually around 80k, but they're at 100k right now, so definitely a really great moneymaker that you should do. You can probably get around 6 mil per hour doing this money-making method. And moving on to our next method, we have killing Elves. And Elves are a really good creature to make some money off of. They are located in Prifddinas, so the requirements do include the Plague's End quest as well as 85 Slayer. So for this method, you will preferably want to use melee, preferably a scythe or a halberd, any kind of two-handed weapon. And what you'll want to do is lure the elves to an area in the open. So here I just lured these 2 elves right around me, and it's because once you do kill them, they will just respawn right there, just hop back up, and you can fight them again. So you can lure them to a safe area or just an open area in general. I would advise trying to lure 3. That would just make it the most efficient, because I found that you can kill 2 pretty fast. And looking at their drops, they do have a lot of really good drops, a lot of noted drops. Also 2 different rune salvages. So for these, you will want to use some high alch runes or the winter storage scrolls. But the rest of the drops are either noted or stackable. So definitely pretty good. Looking at the loot, you can probably get around 6 mil per hour killing these, which is really great. Also around 400k combat XP, which is pretty nice as well. And this is if you can kill around 650 per hour. Elves do hit pretty hard, so if you do have Soul Split, you should definitely use it. Even overloads, they're really helpful. If not, you will need to bring a pack yak with food for sure. The bank is pretty nearby, so it shouldn't really be much of a problem if they do hit you pretty hard. But make sure if you are battling 2 or 3 at a time, they will deal a lot of damage pretty rapidly, so just watch out for that. And on to the last method that I want to show you guys, which is Lava Strykewyrms. And this is another Slayer creature, and they are located in the wilderness, around 34 to 41 wilderness, so they are risky. The only requirement is a 94 Slayer. I would also advise to have around 90 plus range and defense. Also, if you do have curses and overloads, that would be pretty helpful as well. So for this method, you definitely don't want to bring any high level gear. You can bring one. I like bringing my Noxious Scythe. However, you can also get the Hellfire Bow. That is a pretty good bow to use, although PKers will then know your location. But anyway, my setup is using Royal Dragonhide, so a pretty cheap armor that I really don't care if I lose. Also, I have the Noxious Bow, and then my Luck of the Dwarves, which will improve my drop rate on some of the rare items, and it will also provide me with that level 30 teleport. So I can just run 4 wilderness levels south, and then I can teleport to the Grand Exchange using that. So you should be able to kill around 80 Lava Strykewyrms per hour, which should make you around 7 mil per hour. And if you guys saw my recent video on the top 5 monsters for charms, you would have noticed that Lava Strykewyrms were on that list. And so Lava Strykewyrms are a great source of blue and crimson charms. And you should get around 140 blue charms and 72 crimson charms, so that is a nice added bonus to Lava Strykewyrms. If you do have the elite wilderness tasks completed, their Searing Ashes will also be noted, which will save you a lot of inventory space. You'll be able to bring more food and whatnot, so that is definitely a really useful item to have. I also have a loot from 1000 Lava Strykewyrms video on my channel. I made around 65 mil, I believe, so that's an average of 65k per kill, and I didn't get any rare drops, so that was a really nice video, and yeah, you can get around 65k per kill at Lava Strykewyrms. Really doesn't take that long. They're kind of OP, it's just they are in the wilderness, so that risk of getting PK, that is why they are so good. Anyway guys, that is it for this video. I really hope you guys did enjoy, and if you did, make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe button for more RuneScape 3 content. And also, if you guys want to join my Discord server, the invite link will be in the description down below. I'm also going to start streaming, so follow my Twitch channel, SilencedRS. The link to that will be in the description as well. And anyway guys, I hope to see you in the next video. Peace.